All right, reminder again as we get started today that it is going to be critical that you have your notes updated, which I'm going to refer to as we go, and that you have done practice and not just kind of copy this and think you're good, because that could be a problem. So, with that in mind, excuse me. 10.1, characteristics of a quadratic function. All right, for the given function, complete the table and the graph the function accurately going from here. Okay, first things first. Let's take a peek because I remember from somewhere in here chatting about vertex form. Vertex form. Okay, reminder over here on page 5. We chatted about this quite a bit yesterday, that my vertex is just the opposite of h and k. So the opposite of negative 3 is 3, and my k value is negative 4. That's it. That's it. Now, if for the rest of these, we could come up with quite a bit of them without the calculator, but we're going to bust out the calculator here. And as I have also said several times, and will say again, if you do not have this first page of the notes with our button presses and things, my question would be why not? Because tomorrow I'm not answering those. So we might want to be ready with those, just saying. Okay, so here we are. Ready to rock and roll. Let me move this a little bit to the side so we can see a little easier. We did y equals to get here. There's my x button, just like we have in the notes. My squared button here. And minus 4, not negative 4. So actually, I want to look at it first. Vertex is at the bottom. Okay. We got them in. If it was open down, we'd have them x. Y-intercept occurs when x equals 0. Open up the chart. There's when x equals 0. The y-intercept is a point, but again, I can get the y value right from there. I don't need to do nothing crazy. And while we're at it, let's look for our symmetry so we can get this sucker graphed, because we already know where the vertex is. We figured that out already. Now we're just going to pop these other points in. And the cool thing about checking this out on your own is you can pause me, you can stop me, you can, try out CC. I don't know if that'll be available on this one. Get those in. Right 1 and 0. Right 2 and down 3. Right 3 and down 4. 4 and down 3. There's that beautiful shape that we're always looking for. Domain, this is our free square. Every single time. See, it says so right there. Page 1 of the notes. There it is. There it is. Always. Whoop, whoop. You're like, okay, but what about the range, Hardy? Okay. Now remember, back to the notes again, page 1. We start where our vertex is at because that's going to help me match up with my range. So here, we're starting at negative 4 down here at the bottom and going up forever. If it opened down, these just switch because look, I've got one here that opens down. And it tells me right there what the range is. This is so wonderful. Then, my axis of symmetry goes right through my vertex. Right through the x value of my vertex. All the things that are combinations, they're there. They're ready to go. Vertex form. Okay, let's see here. Got, getting my notes together here. There we go. Okay, is the vertex. List the vertex. Change the sign of what's in here. Keep the sign of what's outside, straight from the notes. Change the sign. Keep the sign. Change the sign. Keep the sign. Change the sign. Keep the sign. It doesn't get easier than that. Okay? Write the possible equation for this quadratic graph. Okay. Oh, let's see. Now, how would I go about doing that? Well, we need the vertex. Okay, what's our vertex? Our vertex is left 3 and down 1. There is H and K. If I'm looking at this, X opposite of H, plus K. That's it. You're like, really? Yeah. Plug in the H and K. You've got the form and what to do. It's right there. Okay. Let's keep rolling. For each function, describe how the graph is related. What is the move or moves that are going on? I know you're going to be shocked when I do this. You got the notes again, don't you, Hardy? I do. I do. We got all the transformations right here. Every last one. This is awesome. So you're like, okay, there must be 2 of them because he's got 2 blanks. Plus 9. Okay, plus 9. Plus 9, not in the parentheses. So up 9. Hardy, there's no parentheses. What else could it be? Is there a number in front? Yeah. Okay. Is it bigger than 1 or less than 1? What's a fraction, Hardy? It's less than 1. Okay. Compress 3/5. For those of you wondering what page of the notes this is page 4. Now the last one we have 3. You're like, all right, minus inside the parentheses, right 4, minus outside the parentheses, down 8, and that negative in front means we're going to reflect about the x-axis. Again, I'm literally stealing it from the transformations. Right there. You've even got examples over here of them done that are very similar to these. All right, get off to the Hardy lecture. We got stuff to do. To the back. Oh, Hardy, this is all review stuff. Do you have your Unit 9 notes? If not, you better lock in here. Best lock in, I'm just telling you. Okay. Get the radical alone. Square both sides and solve. Let's rock and roll. Radical's already alone. Both sides. Over here, the squared and the square root just cancel. 5 squared, if you're not sure, don't try to be a hero. Just punch it in your calculator. And now you just got an equation to solve. I'm going to say it again while I'm writing this. If this is the only practice you've done for this unit, you need to be working later this period or tonight and doing more practice and checking your answers. Because if this is all you do walking into tomorrow, you are in big trouble. That's all I'm going to say. Get the radical alone. Whoop. That's first. You never do the squaring until that radical's alone, and now we're just like over there. I'll keep saying it. If I'm going too quick for you on some stuff, just pause me. It's the nice thing about me not being live. You got a choice on how fast or slow I go. Add my 6 to both sides. Get my answer. Is my radical alone? Not yet. Wipe those guys out. Subtract my 8. Again, jot them down. Jot them down. Graph the function. You're like, oh, Hardy, I wish I had my Unit 9 notes. Again, I always have them posted on Classroom. Do something with them. Okay. But here's the cool thing. There's a lot that's similar with this and what you did here in unit number 10. You're like, okay, well, what do you mean? Hardy, those aren't square roots. Why are you pulling that up again? Because it's the same thing. This is still shifting left and right, but the opposite of what we think. This is still shifting up and down. The exact same way it does here. Same thing. Not even joking. So when I go to do transformations, I'm like, ooh, it's plus under there, it's left. Ooh, it's minus outside, it's down. This is straight up copying. Well, Hardy, what about the graph? Okay, we're going to do what we do all the time. We're going to come here. Hardy, how do I do square root again? Okay. It's second and x squared. So here we go. Let me show it off here. Second and x squared will get me the radical. When I'm done inside, and I don't want this minus 3 on the inside, I don't want to do that. That'd be bad. Tells you what to do. Right arrow, right there. Boom. Second graph. And remember the error message deal before? We start right after the error message. And I'm just looking for whole numbers. If I get 4, it's great. If I only get 3, that's okay too. Plot me some points. Left 4, down 3. Left 3, down 2. No left or right, just down 1. Right 5, up or down 0. These, though, are not like parabolas. We just go to the right and stop because there's nothing more over here. Because that's what the error message is telling us up here. Okay? Ain't got nothing over here, so I can't draw an arrow. When we do domain and range, oh my gosh. If you have your notes, you'll have this. If not, I'd be jotting all this stuff down so I can help remind myself of this. Domain. First value in here to infinity. Range. First y value in my chart to infinity. It's those two numbers every time. The first two after the error. Oh my goodness. And then we're going to go way back. Hardy, I can't do this. Oh, you can, but you can. Graph the system and be sure the solution is clear. Okay. I'm going to graph this 2 colors. It's a good plan. At this point, we got to be able to graph a line. If you can't, I'll show you an option, but I'm just going to do it on my own here at the start. There is my y-intercept. Down 4, put a dot. Nothing in front of x. So my slope is 1 over 1. Which means we're going up, and we're going right, and we're going up, and we're going right, and we're going up, and right, and up, and right, and up, and right. No line under there. We're doing a dotted line. Now, I'm not going to start writing all that stuff again. That stuff, that's old news. But when I'm looking to shade, if y is greater than, I'm shading above. If y is less than, I'm shading below. Y is greater than. If you and graphing do not get along, I don't need the arrow here. I type in x minus 4 and I hit the chart. Use these to plot your points. Okay, 0, -4, 1, -3, 2, -2, 3, -1. You can do it that way if you struggle with graphing. Here we go again. +1. My slope is -2/1. We're going down 2 and right 1. Down 2. Still dotted. No line underneath. Arrow's pointing at y. It's less than. We're going to shade below. Whoop, 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 whoop. And where is it not just red or just green? Right here. Right here. So if you've made it to the end of this video, okay, do not tell your other classmates what I'm about to tell you. Because if they didn't get to the end of the video, they don't deserve to know this. Guess what? Tomorrow on the quiz, not only can you use your notes, you can use your packet, including the review that you just did with me. That looks a whole freaking lot like the quiz. You're welcome. But again, if your classmates over there fiddling around on their phone, don't tell them. You just get to do it tomorrow. They're going to be like, what are you doing? Well, I did this, and I already said at the end of the video, we can use the review on the quiz, along with my whole homework packet. What? So, hey, it's up to you now if you basically have a cheat sheet for the quiz tomorrow or not.